Every kingdom that ever rose, every government that ever ruled, every corporation that dominates today, all of them were shaped not only by armies, wealth, or brilliance, but by psychology, a kind of power that doesn't shout, but whispers, a power that doesn't push, but pulls, a power that operates in shadows inside human behavior itself. This is the world of Machiavellianism, the hidden architecture of influence, manipulation, and strategic thinking that has shaped leaders, tyrants, heroes, and villains throughout history. Tonight, we step into the mind of a Machiavellian and discover just how far people will go to hold power and keep it. Who was Machiavelli? Niccolo Machiavelli was not born into royalty. He was not a warlord. He did not command armies or inherit wealth. He was something far more dangerous, a man who observed human nature with terrifying clarity. He lived in Florence during the Renaissance, a time of beauty, philosophy, and unimaginable corruption. He watched as kings betrayed allies, as popes manipulated nations, as families poisoned rivals to secure thrones. Florence was a chessboard, and Machiavelli saw every move. After years of serving in political office, he was exiled, imprisoned, tortured, and humiliated. Yet instead of breaking, he wrote. And from that isolation came a book so controversial, so brutally honest, that it would outlive kings, empires, and centuries. The Prince. It wasn't a guide for good men, it was a guide for effective men. Machiavelli did not tell leaders how they should act, he told them how they do act. He stripped away morality, idealism, and fantasy, revealing the raw, uncomfortable truth of power, that humans are predictable, that fear shapes action, that loyalty is fragile, and that success, not goodness, determines how history remembers a ruler. Some called him wicked, others called him brilliant, but all agreed Machiavelli understood power better than anyone. What is Machiavellianism? Machiavellianism is not darkness for darkness's sake. It is the ability to read people like open books, to see motives hidden beneath smiles, to navigate the world as a battlefield of intentions. A Machiavellian does not move impulsively. They calculate, they observe, they predict. They know when to charm and when to intimidate, when to stay silent and when to speak, when to appear weak and when to strike. This mindset is built on 4 pillars: strategic manipulation, emotional detachment, image control, and long-term thinking. Not everyone who uses it is evil. Not everyone who avoids it is good. Machiavellianism is simply a tool, a powerful one, used by rulers, CEOs, generals, politicians, and sometimes by the person sitting right next to you. The 4 laws of power from The Prince. Machiavelli didn't speak in moral instructions. He spoke in laws, rules of power that leaders ignore at their own risk. Law 1, fear versus love. Machiavelli famously wrote, "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." He didn't mean cruelty, he meant clarity. Love makes people trust you, but trust can break. Fear makes people respect your boundaries, and respect lasts longer than affection. A leader who wants to survive must understand human nature. People follow emotions, but they obey consequences. The wise ruler becomes a lion when challenged, yet remains a fox when planning. Strength and cunning, the 2 guardians of power. Law 2, control your image. Machiavelli understood something modern influencers and politicians use every day. People judge you not by who you are, but by who you appear to be. Therefore, a ruler must appear generous, even when strategic, appear merciful, even when ruthless, appear honest, even when hiding plans. Your image is your armor. Your reputation is your weapon. People follow the story you build around yourself, not your true intentions. Law 3. Shape, loyalty. To a Machiavellian mind, loyalty is not emotional. It is engineered. Reward, loyalty publicly. Punish betrayal quietly. Turn enemies into allies when possible. Remove threats when necessary. Power is not maintained by kindness alone. It is maintained by balance, by making sure that followers need you, respect you, and fear disappointing you. Law 4. The ends justify the means, the most controversial law of all. To Machiavelli, morality bends under the weight of survival. A ruler who wins is praised. A ruler who loses is condemned. History remembers results, not the struggles behind them. This idea has been used by dictators and by liberators, by conquerors and by freedom fighters, by criminals and by visionary leaders. The ends justify the means is not a license for evil. It is a warning that power plays by different rules than ordinary life. Machiavellianism in modern life. We like to imagine Machiavellianism as something ancient, something from dusty palaces and forgotten kingdoms. But it didn't disappear. It evolved. Today, Machiavellianism sits in corporate boardrooms, whispered in politics, disguised in friendships, hidden in relationships, and coded into international diplomacy. In the workplace, it appears as the charming co-worker who always knows what to say, but uses information strategically. In governments, it shapes speeches, negotiations, alliances, and media. In social life, it appears in people who pretend to care, only to gain access, influence, or advantage. In global politics, nations maneuver as predators, masking intentions behind treaties and smiles. The battlefield changed, the weapons changed, but the strategy remained the same. The Dark Triad. To understand Machiavellianism fully, we must explore the psychological triangle it belongs to. The Dark Triad Machiavellianism: strategic manipulation, narcissism, the hunger for admiration, psychopathy, coldness, and lack of empathy. Individually, these traits are powerful. Combined, they create individuals capable of rising quickly in systems driven by competition and ambition. They charm when needed, intimidate when necessary, and detach emotionally when the moment demands it. You'll find dark triad personalities in positions of influence, in corporations, politics, entertainment, and even social groups. But not all who rise are dark, only those who understand the game. How to protect yourself from manipulators. Knowledge is not enough. To survive a Machiavellian environment, you must be able to detect manipulation before you fall into it. How? First, watch patterns, not words. Manipulators often speak beautifully but behave inconsistently. Second, protect your boundaries. A manipulator pushes slowly, testing what you tolerate. Third, avoid emotional vulnerability around those who show strategic charm. They don't comfort you to help. They comfort you to gather information. Fourth, remain unpredictable. Manipulators thrive on predictability. When they cannot predict your next move, they cannot control the game. And finally, trust action over apology, motives over compliments, and evidence over promises. You don't need to be cruel. You simply need to be aware. Can a good person use Machiavellianism? A powerful question, one that changes how we see this entire philosophy. Can a good leader use Machiavellian principles? Absolutely, because Machiavelli did not say, be wicked, he said, be effective. A good person can use strategy without manipulation. They can use planning without deceit. They can use strength without cruelty. They can protect their people using intelligence instead of fear. This is benevolent Machiavellianism, the art of leading with wisdom and clarity, not darkness. A leader who is too kind gets devoured. A leader who is too cruel gets overthrown. But a leader who is strategic, fair, and firm, that leader becomes unforgettable. In truth, the question was never whether Machiavellianism is good or evil. The real question is, who holds the power? What is their heart like? Closing. Power is not evil. Power is not holy. Power is simply a tool shaped by the hands that hold it. Machiavellianism reveals the hidden mechanics of influence, the psychology of leadership, and the truth of human nature. To understand it is to understand the world. To master it is to walk through life with open eyes. And to use it wisely is to shape destiny without losing your soul. If you enjoy this video, feel free to subscribe to the channel and make sure you turn on the notification for more and deeper learnings. Thank you. See you next time.